Welcome, everybody, to episode 13 of Smack Talk here at smarkoutmovement.com. I'm your host, as always, Tony Mango. With me today, the usual suspects, Chris Dace, Michael Burhan, Braden Mayhew. Unlucky number 13, but we got the Royal Rumble coming up, so this should be a good one. How you guys doing today?
Fine.
Doesn't sound like it.
I'm alive.
Doesn't sound like it. No, just kidding.
I'm poorly because I've had the most traumatic experience ever.
What was
Chyna
that? You
came
watched
for
the,
me.
Yeah.
She anally violated me, Tony.
We will talk about Chyna
bad.
soon. We have something to talk about with Chyna today, which is not surprising considering
I
all of
had
her
my
crap
one night
this
in
week.
China.
One
Well,
night
more
is
like
all
one
you need.
week.
Yeah. So we have the hot tags we're going to do a little bit later in this first part. We got to talk a little bit about Monday Night Raw, and then the rest of the show is going to be Royal Rumble talk, and we killed some of that earlier this week, but we've got even more to talk about when it comes to that kind of stuff. So why don't we go right into the Ask Him, if you've got one for me.
Okay, Tony. Like I've never got an ask him for you. Let's get this bad boy out of the way. Right. She was once a fitness model.
Well, it's not Chyna.
Just don't bring that experience up again. It was traumatic. I couldn't walk right for 2 days. She was once a fitness model who then was a manager who then became the center point of a division. Who is she?
A fitness model that became a manager. And then she was what? She was...
The center point of a division.
I would assume a Divas division, right?
Well, you can assume, yeah.
Fitness model. Well, pretty much they've all been models.
No, but this one is a particular one.
Yeah, well, no shit. Otherwise, I could just say any diva and it'd be right.
Diva number 4. Yay!
Yeah, diva number 4.
I'm pretty sure I know, but...
You know what? I'm going to take a random guess here, and it's probably going to be wrong. I'm going to try to go with... Tori Wilson.
Can I try?
Go for it.
All right, I'm going to guess Trish Stratus.
Woo!
Yay!
Can I guess?
Okay.
Karma. It's karma.
Damn you and your questions that I don't get. The whole point of the segment is to try to stump me, and it works. So that gives us the Ask Him of the week, and all right, so let's get into the hot tags for the week. There's 4 of them this time, and if you don't know how this works, we have 30 seconds apiece to talk about these topics, so let's get right into this one. The first one, little setup here. Finlay was defending the Divas division, saying that they don't get enough credit for all the good things that they do, and that the people that criticize them should shut their mouths until we try it. The way that I see this is, it doesn't matter if we aren't trying it or something like that. I don't need to do something to say whether or not you suck at it. I can't cook well, but if a chef burns my dinner, I know he fucked up. Now, I'm not saying I'm better at the Divas at wrestling. I would be much, much, much worse. But that doesn't mean I can't criticize for them. If a mechanic gives me a flat tire and I don't know how to do complex automobile work, he's still fucked up, and I can still criticize. Dace?
I have tried it, and they do suck. Next.
All right, Mike?
Again, I've tried it, and yes, they do suck. Once your TV time's filled with Akanza and Teddy Long awkwardly trying to have sex with one another, then you know it's over.
All right, Braden.
I get that he's trying to defend them because he did most of the training work. So it's like when you are insulting the Divas, you're insulting his training work and saying he probably sucks as a trainer. I think he's taking it more to heart for himself than actually defending the Divas, if you really read between the lines. Yeah, they suck pretty well. I mean, they wouldn't have Michael Cole just interrupting matches or having Perez Hilton referee them if, Vince actually gave a crap about the division.
All right, and one diva that we're going to go to right now that was a mess on her own self at the Adult Video Awards, and now that's a different type of mess, but Chyna, complete train wreck apparently at the AVA. Did they really actually do it, the AVA? I don't know. Chyna was a complete train wreck and completely just out of it, glazed over eyes and everything like that. My point of view of the situation, saw it coming the way that she was last week with all the Twitter shit, and I'm going to echo a statement I said last week. I hope she gets help, and I don't see it necessarily happening, but for anybody that might be in that pool of who dies before the other Scott Hall and her, looks like Chyna just got a couple points up this week. Base.
What are we commenting about on her? That she's going to die before Scott Hall?
Train wreck at the Adult Video Awards.
Yeah, that's just. I've heard so many reports going back and forth whether or not she's doing better, she's doing worse, she's looking good, she's looking bad. I really don't care. You know, if you fall, I'd rather Scott Hall last out longer than her.
Mike?
Well, as far as I'm concerned, you know, I was there. She she forced me there. I was her drug supplier. Basically, the way I see it is, I hope she gets help, but nothing's going to change. She's always been like this.
And Braden?
I'm just gonna, continue on what the other guy said. Like, wasn't there like a whole bunch of tweets last week where she basically sounded like she's just typing to nobody to get attention just because she was like under the influence?
Right.
So, it's not surprising that a week later she's still completely trashed and shows up to an award show completely screwed up on drugs. It's sad. She needs help. I think that's as far as this needs to be dug into, personally.
And then switching over to somebody who has no problems with drugs at all, CM Punk. Apparently, according to Tommy Dreamer saved his job twice when he was in WWE because he wasn't what WWE goes for, but they kept saying, keep up with this guy and everything like that. My point of view, I can see that happening. I'm not 100% sure if that's how it goes, but I can see Tommy Dreamer having the pull necessary over CM Punk back in the day, because now CM Punk's in a much better company position than Dreamer ever was. But Tommy Dreamer had a better position back in that time, so if they were against CM Punk, he could have told them a couple times, hey, you know what, stick with him a little bit longer and all that. And if Dreamer's not telling the truth, then just whatever. Dace?
I can believe it. Tommy Dreamer was very well respected when he was still there. I would assume still is well respected among the WWE locker room, and it's kind of like Dean Malenko. If he says something, people listen. And CM Punk had been in the doghouse a couple times back then, so I believe Tommy Dreamer in that.
Mike?
Oh, I'm so glad you asked me. I actually tweeted Dreamer about this, and he was saying it was back in the time that Punk was in developmental. They were going to release him on a couple of occasions because he had a few run-in with the guys they basically sent down to evaluate him because they felt was too arrogant. Dreamer spoke up for him, and that sort of led to him getting on TV with Heyman and all the trouble that happened with him and Lagana.
Braden?
Yeah, I could totally see it happening because, as Mike alluded to, Tommy Dreamer, he's an agent or some sort of trainer for OVW, which is where Punk was in developmental.
He was actually booking the promotion.
Yeah.
Believe it or not.
So, yeah, and I'm pretty sure Punk isn't the first wrestler he stood up for. I'm pretty sure he went to bat for numerous guys on the roster to give them a chance. And it's just a really good thing. Like, that's a pretty awesome thing to do, I must say.
And the final hot tag of the week is, at a house show, they had R-Truth win the U.S. title from Jack Swagger, but then David Otunga came out and said that it was a non-title match, and it actually didn't count. I don't know exactly where they're going with this, but that would at least make me think maybe they aren't going to give the title to Zack Ryder after Jack Swagger. Maybe they're going to give it to R-Truth. I don't see it necessarily happening. I think they probably just did it for the hell of it because they were bored at a house show, but it's something to keep your eyes out for. Dace?
It's not like I'm a huge Zack Ryder fan or anything like that, but I'm pretty sure he's going to win the Money in the Bank. That's why they took the title off of him.
Mike?
Dace cried a little when Zack Ryder lost the title. Just want to put that out there.
Without a doubt. I pouted and I had somebody rubbing my back as it was happening. They saw how sad
I
I
know.
was.
It was my mum. But anyway, back to the topic at hand. I see this as just one of those things. Like they switched the tag titles. They did the US title scenario just to make people think that they were just going to, switch that belt. I don't see it as anything, just as a nice little thing for the fans when that house show was going on. There's nothing major.
And Braden?
Well, I like the news. I'm a pretty big R-Truth fan at the moment, so that's cool if they're actually going to do something more with him as far as being in a title picture. But they do this kind of stuff at house shows all the time. I was at one recently where before Primo and Epico won the tag titles, they win it from Kofi and Bourne, then the decision was reversed afterwards. I don't see this continuing on TV. I think it's just something to keep people interested in house shows personally, but it's cool that they're doing it.
And those are the hot tags of the week, and let's go and talk a little bit about Monday Night Raw.